Good morning to all. So I am again Krishna Rao, professor from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, ECE department. So this is my fifth lecture in the series of my lectures on signals and systems. So today I am going to discuss about the operations on signals on the independent variable, that is time. So if we take a signal, we assume that a signal is a function of time. So that means time signals, we are considering time signals, and these time signals on the x-axis, the independent variable is the time in seconds. Now we can apply several operations on this time variable to manipulate the signal. So what are those kinds of different operations which we can do on the independent variable? We are going to study in this lecture. First operation is time shifting. In this one, let us consider a signal f of t, and the signal is delayed by t seconds, and we denote that new signal as phi of t. So f of t is the original signal. I want to manipulate this f of t by delaying it by t seconds. Then I am calling this signal as phi of t. So mathematically, if you see, this is the expression for this. Phi of t equal to f of t minus capital T, and the t is the shift in time. So this is what we have. And for example, if the shift is towards the right, let us say I have the time axis here. This is 0, t equal to 0, and this is positive t, and this is negative t. If the shift is towards the right, it is called the delay. We can say that the signal is delayed by so much time period. Okay. And if the signal is shifted towards left, it is called advancing the signal. We are forwarding the signal or advancing the signal by that much time duration. Okay. So if it is at t equal to 0, it is not changed. Okay. I am taking a signal which is, okay. So I am taking some signal and I am trying to shift the signal from its original position towards the right or towards the left. Let us consider this example. I have a signal here. It is nothing but an exponential decay function. The decay constant is 2. Because it is minus 2, the waveform decreases with time. Okay. So say this is pictorial representation of the signal f of t, and the functional representation of f of t is given like this. F of t equal to e to the power of minus 2t for t greater than or equal to 0. That means it is a causal signal. It exists for 0 value of t and positive values of time. And it won't exist for negative values of time because it is 0. Okay. So I have taken a causal signal. Now I want to shift it by 1 second, 1 unit, 1 second. The t here, it is not specified exact units. It can be milliseconds, or it can be microseconds, or it can be seconds. It can be microseconds like this, or it can be seconds like this. It doesn't matter. Okay. So I want to shift this by 1 unit. I want to shift by 1 unit. That means towards left I want to shift. For example, this is what after shifting, this is what happened. So what is the delay here? T equal to t plus 1 means t equal to minus 1 basically. Okay, minus 1 shift I have applied on this because in the previous example we have taken f of t minus t is the shifted signal. If I take t equal to minus 1, then what happens? This will become f of t plus 1. So that is the signal. So minus 1 units means advanced by 1 unit towards the left. Okay. That's why everywhere you will get f of t plus 1. How you get this? Take the original signal here, substitute t plus 1 in place of t. Wherever t is there, substitute t plus 1. Okay. So here e to the power of minus 2 into t plus 1. Okay. And as it is. Substitute t plus 1 in place of t. Now what happens? We have to change the limits here basically. Okay. So here, I mean, this is equal to what? This is nothing but t greater than or equal to minus 1. Okay. So that is what. Here, what is this here? T is less than minus 1. Like that. Okay. So less than minus 1 means this is the area. Greater than 1 means this is the area. Greater than or equal to 1 means this is the area. Actually, it comes like this. Okay. So this is what you have. This is the advancement of the signal. Now let us see the delay of the signal. Delay of the signal by 1 unit. So replace the t with t minus 1. T is replaced with t minus 1. T is replaced with t minus 1. Again same thing. So in this case, what is this? You should not leave the limit as it is. You should convert this. This is equal to t greater than or equal to 1. And this is equal to t less than or equal to 1. Okay. T minus 1 is less than 0. T is less than 1. Okay. So these are the new limits for the time. And this is the delayed signal. Okay. Now, second operation is time scaling. And in this time scaling, we are multiplying the independent variable by some real constant a. The a can be greater than 1, it can be greater than 1, it can be less than 1, or it can be equal to 0. So this is the mathematical, you can express this operation as phi of t equal to f of a into t, at. When a equal to 1, for example, if you substitute a equal to 1, phi of t equal to f of t. That means signal is not changing, it is the same signal. And if a equal to greater than 1, for example, take here, a equal to 2 here. So a is equal to 2, that is nothing but greater than 1. So what happens when you take greater than 1? The waveform will shrink. It will be compressed in time like this. Okay, compressed in time like this. And okay, so T2 will become T2 by 2. T1 will become T1 by 2. Okay, so that is how you will get. So what is the thing here? So T, let us say T equal to 2T. Now if I take, it is 1 by 2. Okay, 2T equal to 1 if I take, any value if I take, T equal to 1 by 2, like that. Okay, any instant. So basically, even though it is appearing as a multiplication factor here, because it is, when you multiply with greater value more than 1, the signal is shrinking. You should not think that because a is greater than 1, so signal will expand. In fact, it is a reciprocal of that one. As the a increases, the signal will compress that many times. Now, take 1 by a case. Here, a equal to half, 0.5. That means 1 by 2 in this case. So, in this case, what happened? Here, the signal is expanding. Basically, the signal is expanding. T1 has become T2 and T1 has become 2T1. T2 has become 2T2. It has doubled. So, the duration of this has actually 2T1. Duration is also doubled. 2 into T1 plus T2. This is the total duration of this. Earlier, the duration of this signal was T1 plus T2. T1 plus T2. Okay. Now it has become 2 into T1 plus T2. Okay. So the signal has expanded. You can also say that the operation is also called as dilation. If you take in some notation, we can say that the dilation of the signal. Dilation of the signal. So signal is diluted. You can say it is expanded means diluted. So dilation of the signal. The operation can also be called as dilation of the signal. Okay. One is compression of the signal when a is greater than 1. Other one is dilation of the signal when a is less than 1. So let us see this example. So this basically I have taken a waveform. This waveform comprises two parts. One is the rectangular part, other one is the exponential decaying part. Okay. So this signal is expressed functionally as it is a constant 2, constant here 2 during this range, that is minus 1.5 to 0. So this is minus 1.5 to 0. It is constant. And between 0 and 3, it is exponential decay. Okay. So this is the equation for exponential decay. Now what I am doing, I want to compress this signal 3 times. So what I have to do, I want to compress. My purpose is to compress the signal. So what I have to do, 3 times I am compressing. So A equal to 3. Here A equal to this, A equal to 3 here. When I put A equal to 3, so you have to substitute T equal to 3T everywhere. Wherever T is there in this expression, wherever T is there in this expression, you are substituting 3T here. In place of T here, 3T. In place of T here, 3T. Okay. Now when I expand this, I mean when you reorganize the terms here, so here what is happening? Divided by 3. Divided by, every term is divided by 3 here. Divided by 3. When you divide this by 3, this is 1.5. 3T divided by T. T, 0 divided by 3 is 0 divided by 3 is 0. Okay. So ultimately, and here also, this is 3T divided by 3, and I will get this one. Okay. So now the new range, this is the new range of the signal. New range. This is the new range of the signal. Okay. So what is this new range here? 0 to 1. Please check this. 0 to 1. Earlier it was between 0 to 3. 3 times it is compressed in time. Now here, this is 1.5. Now it is here only 0.5. Okay. So total 2 segments, 2 parts of the same signal. I mean, both are compressed. Okay. So that is what you have here. Now, same thing if I want to dilate by how much? Twice I want to dilate. I want to expand. I want to pull this signal twice. So what I have to do? So when I expand 1.15, it will become 3. When I expand this 3, it will become 6 here. Okay. So accordingly, you have to substitute in the mathematical equation. T equal to T by 2 you have to substitute. Here T equal to T by 2. So T by 4 it becomes here. And this is T by 2. T by 2. Now when it becomes T by 2, and you have to ultimately find the range in terms of T. So when you get T minus 3 to 0. Okay. Because this is T by 2. T by 2, 1.5 less than 1.5 less than T by 2. Less than or equal to T by 2. So this 2 will go this side. And I have the minus 3 here. Okay, minus 3 here. So in that way, and same thing here also. So T by 2 less than 3. So T is less than 6. Okay, so this is what we have. The signal looks like this and it is dilated. Dilated version of the original signal. Now, the third operation is time inversion. So this time inversion, actually, this is, very useful operation in future which you are going to study. There are some operations where you require the time inversion. For example, if you take convolution operation at certain point of time, you have to, in the process of convolution, you have to time reverse the signal. So this is very important operation basically. And how you define this? This is the definition for this. What it means is phi of t equal to f of minus t. That means t is replaced with minus t. What it means is, let us put here a mirror. This is the original signal. If you put a mirror here, how this appears? This is how it appears in this. Or if you put a signal here, some signal, I am writing separately here. Let us put a mirror here. Put some signal. How it appears in the mirror? This is the mirror. Mirror surface is this. So how this appears in the mirror? Like this. So it is, you can call this as lateral inversion. You can also call this as not only time reversal, time inversion, time reversal, and a lateral inversion also. Because the mirror, if you take optical mirror, so you appear, your image appears as if left and right, they are interchanged. That is called lateral inversion. There is no up and down, correct? Up and down won't happen in the mirror. If you take right becomes left and left becomes right. Okay, the up and down won't happen. Okay, so that's why it is called only lateral inversion. And you can say that this can also called as mirror symmetry. If I take one signal and if I take the mirror image of that signal, both signals together, I can say, the time inverted signal can be called as the mirror image of this signal. So what are the possible names here? You can denote it by time inversion, or you can call this as time reversal, and you can call this as mirror symmetry or mirror image, or you can call this as a lateral inversion. There are 4 names for this. Okay. So you should not be confused with any of these things. So f of t, let us say f of t is given as e to the power of t by 2, and the range is between -1 to -5. So both are minus limits. So this is the limit here. You have come to this limit here. Okay. This is the limit here for you. So now let us see after time inversion what will happen. Let us see. So what is the time inversion here? You have to substitute substitute minus t in place of t. Okay. So this is e to the power of t by 2. What I have to do here? I have to substitute t equal to minus t. And here t equal to minus t. See here, this is the range. This is the t. In place of t, I had put minus t here. So -1 greater than or equal to minus t greater than or equal to -5. All are minuses. So when you reverse the sign, this greater will become lesser, greater will become lesser, lesser will become, greater, like that. Okay. So here if you see, this is all minuses will go here. Then what happens? So this is greater than will become less than because sign inversion. And this greater than will become this less than. So this is the finally after the inversion, these are the limits. So if you see here, these are the limits. So earlier the signal was like this. So this is the mirror image basically, time inverted version. Okay. So all positives have become the negatives. So combined operation. So this here, the combined operation means you have the multiplication operation. Time dilation. You have the A and B, both. B is for translation. You can say that time translation, time shift. And A is for time scaling. It is called as time scaling, means compression or dilation. Compression or dilation. Okay. And B means, shift means take the total signal as it is and keep somewhere, this side or keep this side. Okay. So that is what you have. A and B. One is for scaling, other one is for translation, basically. So if you both are common, generally we come across these kind of things. So in that case, what you have to do is called complex operation. The most general operation is this. As I explained, first what you have to do, time shift the ft by b. First do this. There are different ways. One way is first shift this. Once you shift this, f of t becomes f of t minus b. Now time scale this signal by a. If I time scale the signal by a, what will happen? That is, t is replaced with at. Okay. So because there is no term here, no time term in the b, so it doesn't matter. So first do the shift operation, then apply the scaling operation. So you will automatically get the generalized operations. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience. So this is I'm closing this thing here.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.